After its debut as weightlifting in the Tokyo 1964 Paralympic Games, the sport, now known as powerlifting, expanded from just male lifters with a spinal cord injury to include athletes with physical impairments that affect their lower limbs or hips, or athletes with short stature. Female powerlifters made their Paralympic debut in 2000. Powerlifting is the ultimate test of upper body strength, and you'll often see athletes lifting more than 3 times their own body weight. Powerlifters are split into 10 different categories based on body weight for each gender. Powerlifting consists of one discipline, a bench press. Unlike the able-bodied sport where athletes use their feet on the floor to assist the bench press, Paralympic athletes lie totally flat on a completely different style of bench. Each competitor has 2 minutes to complete their attempt. When the lifter has the bar under full control, they must wait until they receive the command, start. Then they have to lower the bar in a controlled manner and definitively stop it on the chest. Next, they press it upwards, block out both elbows simultaneously and hold the bar under control until the referees command to wrap. At least 2 white lights are required from 3 referees for a good lift. A red light indicates a bad lift. Athletes have 3 attempts, and the winner is the athlete that lifts the heaviest weight. In the 3rd round, 2 weight changes are permitted. The weight change can be higher or lower. No changes are allowed if the lifter has already been called to the platform by the speaker, and or if the bar has already been loaded. To attempt a new record, it must exceed the previous one set by a minimum of 0.5 kilograms. Where a world record is broken during the actual 3 lifts of competition, the 0.5 kilograms does not count towards the competition total, but is rounded down to the full kilogram. The jury may allow a 4th attempt for a world record. This adds suspense to the competition, as a lifter could break the world record but may not win gold. Powerlifting offers a tense and dramatic spectacle where coaches have to be good strategists as their athletes battle to outlift their rivals.
So back again for the final day in Kitakyushu. We're at the Riverwalk Theatre for the last day of the 2018 World Para Powerlifting Asia-Oceania Open Championships. So it all ends here today. We've got 4 more titles down for decision, and this is the first on day 5, the men's 107 kg decider. So this is what's coming up in the final day. We're 10:20 Japanese time, so over the next hour and a half or so, the men's 107 kg final, then a break for the women's 86 and over 86 deciders, and then to round off the men's over 107 kg final. The heavyweights and the super heavyweights effectively on the final day of the powerlifting in Kitakyushu. Two groups in the men's 107 kg final, and we've got 6 in each, so 12 going up on stage. It gets heavy, seriously so, as you'll see. The Asian record holder is in this, in Sodnam Pilji Enkbayar of Mongolia. Set that mark in the World Championships in Mexico City. So this is who is in Group B for this 107 kg final. We've got quite a number of former medalists in this, as usual. Ahmed Kamis Al-Balushi of the United Arab Emirates, 6th in the The last Asian Championships in 2015, Katsuhito Nakatsuji of Japan, who was a 7th at best in a World Championships. Praket Tongsang as well, Southeast Asian Games champion and Asian Games bronze medalist. Eng Bayar going for the heaviest target in the opening round, the world silver medalist in Mexico City, Asian and Paralympic bronze. Karabishi and Razi, both of Iran. Karabishi, it's actually his first major championship for Razi, Asian and Asian Games silver medalist. So on the way then in the men's 107 kg final. So here we go then, the last final. And it is Group B to get us underway. 7-hitter Praket Tongsang of Thailand to kick off on 120. And unusually we're starting off in Group B with somebody with major championship medals to his name. He was a reigning champion at Southeast Asian Games last year in Kuala Lumpur, and silver for the games before that in 2015 in Singapore, bronze in the last Asian Games 4 years ago in Incheon. We're only a few weeks away from the next one in Jakarta. Only one global championship to his name though, that was the 2010 Worlds. He finished 16th in that, based in Pattaya for Thailand. Praket Tongsang for 120. So 120, and that is a good lift, 3 out of 3 to get the competition started in the best possible fashion. Southeast Asian Games are every 2 years. Next one to be in the Philippines. So here we go, 125 for Lee Seung-gu. $125 is his target. First major championship, and a junior as well. Turned 20 in June. So 125, that should be quite straightforward. Yes, 2 out of 3 for Lee Seung-gu. Hits the front on 125. Just about those Southeast Asian Games, by the way, because the Philippines are hosting the able-bodied Southeast Asian Games just before Christmas next year. It'll cross over into early January, the para version, so it'll be 2020. But there will still be another one as usual in 2021. So that's a good lift, 125. Lee Seung-gu up and underway for Korea.
Thank you. The bar is loaded. 130 kilos, first attempt, Republic of Korea. Moon Young-bae.
Staying with Korea, Moon Young-bae, his first major championship. Quite colourful singlets they have for Korea, don't they? 130s, what he's aiming for. So ready to go, and can he follow the same successful mark of his compatriot? $130. Yep, 3 out of 3 again. Good start to this competition. Moon Young-bae with an emphatic start. Good comprehensive strong lift. They've all aimed wisely so far in this opening round. So on we go. Massive leap now in terms of the weights.
Representing Malaysia,
Mohammed Shamil Mudsad of Malaysia. Southeast Asian Games champion in 2015. He's had a terrific career. Asian Games silver in 2014. 8th in the Paralympic Games in Rio. 6th is his best World Championship performance. Quite a recent one as well in Dubai. 5th in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow in 2014. 4th in the last Asians in 2015. And a silver medalist in the Asian Championships, the inaugural ones in 2013. So he's had a successful time of it. 5th in the Dubai World Cup this year as coaches Jamil Adam. So at 180, big leap in the standard here. And he has nailed 3 out of 3 also. Tremendous. And yet again, exquisite quality. We go up to 230 in a Group A. That was impressive, to say the least.
Thank you. The bar is loaded. 188 kilos, first attempt, representing Japan. Kitakyushu Nakatsuji.
Katsuhito Nakatsuchi of Japan gunning for 188 in the opening round, 7th in the 2010 World Championships. That's his best result out of 4. Based out of Satai, and like a lot of the Japanese team, national team, coached by John Amos, been involved for many, many years. So 188 is his target. Everybody going clear so far.
One minute.
188. Well, that looks very comfortable, and it was. That is a good lift as well. We're seeing a brilliant standard very early on, and every single man to date has pitched themselves fabulously.
Please, rack height 17, 190 kilos, please.
Very impressive. A real veteran at this stage. She's 48 years old.
Representing United Arab Emirates. Al-Balushi.
Ahmed Kamas Al-Balushi next for the United Arab Emirates, the last lifter. So the heaviest lifter in this opening round of Group B. Sixth in the last Asian Championships. He's had some bad luck at the Paralympic Games. Unable to register a weight either time in London or in Rio. And he was injured in London. He had needed 3 operations off the back of that. He's out for quite a while. .190 is his target here.
One minute.
This for the lead, and this for a clean sweep in the opening round. Didn't affect him at all. All 3 referees immensely satisfied with that. So everybody has had a good lift in this opening round. Al-Balushi, maybe the muscles were wavering a bit, but the bar wasn't. He was fine. He was spot on and in control. 190. And impressive for Ahmed Kamis Al-Balushi. So there we go, Al-Balushi leading, Nakatsuji in second place for Japan, and With Saad in third for Malaysia, Moon and Lee then next for Korea, Tong Sang for Thailand.
Second round, 130 kilos, second attempt. Representing Thailand, Prakit
Tong Sang adding 10 onto the bar, and it's 130 his target now. Really successful career Tong Sang has had. And that bronze medal he'll be defending at the Asian Games, the Asian Para Games, in a few weeks' time in Jakarta. So 130. Again, looked around the same quality as the 120 lift, but we'll see. No, it's 2-1 against. I think you'd say not very far off it, though. Might have just whizzed through the chest hold. Well, that was a close run thing. I didn't get it 2-1 against. He sort of, as you see, felt a bit tentative. It took a while for the result to come through. And that is the first miss of the competition. Lee Sung-gu is next, and like his Korean teammate Moon Young-bae, going for 135. $135 then. And that's a good lift, 2 out of 3. Exactly the same result for him in the first round. 2 out of 3 going his way. Good progress for him. Strong lift. And no pressure. So he's good and clear at 135. His teammate Moon Young-bae looking for the same mark, but would be eclipsed by Lee in the head-to-head and body weight, because Lee is 4 kilos lighter. So here he comes. Moon Young-bae, 135 for Korea. Executed that very well. Moon Young-bae. Added 5 onto the bar, Lee added 10, both successful.
Floaters, please. Rack height 18, 185 kilos.
Good job. Well done. It was an impressive lift. Doesn't overtake Lee. Terrific venue, this Riverwalk Theatre, with its 3 tiers and atmospherically lit. So now the immense weights again, and we join Muhammad Shamil Mudsad of Malaysia, aiming for 185. Southeast Asian Games champion in 2015. Two silvers at continental level, one in the Asian Championships in 2013, the other at the Asian Games last time out. It's 185 for Mudsad of Malaysia.
1 minute.
Once it got down at the bench, there was no hanging about.
Good lift.
There you go, 3 out of 3. Spot on. So the 185, he stays in 3rd position. Wasn't a thought of challenging Nakatsuji, who's above him at the moment, a 188er. Albelushi 190. If he'd gone for 190 there, he'd be in front now in the head-to-head with the body weight.
Thank you. The bar is loaded 194 kilos. Second attempt. Representing Japan, Katsuhito Nakatsuji.
So here is Katsuhito Nakatsuji with his 188 in the opening round. This for 194 to take the lead. Albelushi going for 195 next. Tenth in the World Championships, last time out in Mexico City. Didn't compete in the last Asian Championships in Almaty 3 years ago.
minute.
194 for the lead. It's no problem raising it, and no problem doing it cleanly either. 3 out of 3, and Nakatsuji's in front with 194. And that was just an absolute belter. Technique absolutely supreme. And generally, they have all got this right so far in this competition, and that an absolute belter for 194.
Thank you. The bar is loaded 195 kilos. Second attempt. Representing United Arab Emirates, Ahmed Khamis Al
So to regain the lead, Ahmed Kamas Al-Balushi of the United Arab Emirates, who cleared 190 previously, this for 195. Only adding 5 onto the bar here. $195 for Al-Balushi. Coached by Tunisian Fawzi Al-Maki. Good strength and accuracy, and back in front, 3 out of 3, 195 for Al-Balushi. So 12 lifts we've seen, and 11 have been successful. Just the one miss for Prakrit Tongsang. Al-Balushi in front, 195, Nakatsuchi 194. Cracking lift. Great strength, obviously. Impressively done. Al-Balushi leading 195 for the United Arab Emirates, 1 kilo clear of Nakatsuchi of Japan, with Saad in third for Malaysia. And it's going to get much heavier. Now, Tongsang has bowed out. And I was saying that it was interesting how somebody with as many medals as he would start off with the lowest weight of the entire competition. There must be some sort of an injury issue. And he is retired out of the rest of the competition. He missed 130, won't be lifting in the third round.
Thank you. The bar is loaded, 141 kilos, third attempt. Representing Republic of Korea, Lee Sung-gu.
So we go straight then to the two Koreans. Lee Sung-gu and Moo Young-bae are both lifting 141, and this is Lee first of all. Both in their first major championship. Lee lifting 125 and 135 so far in the competition, and this to stay above Moon if he lifts this, as Moon couldn't overtake him in the head-to-head. $141, and he has it. 2 out of 3. And that maintains his very solid position at the moment in 4th place. And Moon not looking for anything heavier than that. So Lee, 4th place in the group, and that's where he will remain. He will not be overtaken by Moon or Tongsang. Very, very capable lift. So Moon Young-bae of Korea looking for a clean sweep of lifts himself. 130 and 135 he has lifted so far. So 141. Moon Young Bai. And that does complete the set for him. Every lift successful, and that a very emphatic 141. So the two Koreans have been basically kilo for kilo across the end of their competition. 141 for both, 135 for both in the previous round. And they have matched each other perfectly. 141, and that puts him into 5th position. So now the heavyweights come again, and we will break the 200, at least in terms of attempts. And Saad going for 190. Gunning for 190 is the Malaysian. Missed the last World Championships in Mexico City, but was 8th in the Paralympic Games in Rio.
1 minute.
4th in the last Asian Championships. For 190. Looks solid enough. We'll see if he's got it. Yeah, 3 out of 3. That's absolutely fine. So again, no difficulty.
198 kilos.
That's really put it up to the rest. Stays 3rd though. He's gone in increments of 5 and hasn't been casting an eye on those above him, Nakatsuji or Al-Balushi, as often would be the case. He's done what he wanted to do, so he's 3rd overall and 3rd in Group B, and that will be that.
Thank you to bar loaded 198 kilos. 3rd attempt, representing Japan, Katsuhito Nakatsuji.
Katsuhito Nakatsuji of Japan, 198 to take the lead in Group B, having lifted 188 and 194 so far. First time he's competed in the Continental Championships. Never medalled in a major championship because no Japanese lifter had done that until yesterday. Decent follow through at 198. That's a considerable weight, and he's done it. 2 out of 3. Marvellous. Japan have delivered at these championships. They had never ever won a championship medal at any powerlifting championship. Worlds, Paralympics, Asian Games, Asian Championships, but they have here finally. And they are raising their own bar all the time, getting more men into consideration. 198, superb. This is where Group B rounds off. Ahmed Kamis Al-Balushi going for 200 here after lifting 190 and 195 in the opening exchanges. The opening two lifts, Al-Balushi of the United Arab Emirates wrapping up then. He actually missed his home World Championships in 2014 off the back of that injury at the 2012 Paralympic Games in London, where he didn't register a mark, and 3 operations out for pretty much 3 years. His big comeback coming at the last Asian Championships in 2015 in Almaty, where he finished in 6th. He's the 3rd Asian Championships as part of the Asia-Oceania Open Championships. 200 then for the lead. Give himself a very solid spot going into the A group. Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem at 200. Doesn't get it, Al-Balushi. He has been denied. And if he'd got that, he'd have been in a strong position all the way up. It means that Nakatsuji actually is the man who finishes top of Group B with 198. And maybe he stays there in the lead for a little bit. Hard lines on Al-Balushi, who was not going to get the 200 and realised it. 195 is as good as it gets. It's only the second miss of the competition, and I think it's fair to say the first one from Tongsang caused him injury. Al-Balushi, 195 was his best. Nakatsuji, 198, as you see there, top of the group. So here's who's coming up in Group A then. Naisan of Iraq, Davletov of Uzbekistan, Orisbayev of Kyrgyzstan, Razi and Karabishi of Iran, and Enkbayar of Mongolia. Abbas Naisan then of Iraq, 197. It's his first major championship. He is the Iraqi champion. 4th in the Dubai World Cup, the FASA World Cup last year. $197, just like that. There you go. Straight up from Abbas Naisan. And there's more to come. Every lift we're going to see from now on will be attempt at least 200. Goes into second position behind Nakatsuji. And you'd never say a weight like that was a breeze, but he made it look that way. Absolute belter.
200 kilos, first attempt, representing Kyrgyzstan.
Shagalbek Orisbayev of Kyrgyzstan going for 200 here. Fifth in the last Asian Championships in 2015 in Almaty. Fourth in the Asian Games in Incheon. And he carried Kyrgyzstan's flag at the Paralympic Games opening ceremony in Rio, based in Bishkek. $200. Oh, he didn't get it. 2 and against.
Loaders, please. Bracket 16, 204 kilos.
Yeah, no joy from there. It was a bit wavering. You'll see the arms twitching a bit. In saying that, might have been a little bit more forgiveness. Obviously, he had one white light in his favour, as you can see there. 2 against.
Thank you. The bar is loaded 204 kilos, first attempt. Representing Uzbekistan. Nuruddin Dovlatov.
Nuruddin Davlatov of Uzbekistan going for 204 here. 200 was his original aim. Sixth in the World Championships in Mexico City in December, was 7th in the Paralympic Games in Rio, and 8th in the last Asian Championships in Almaty. $204. Two and against. The heavier weights are taking their toll. And just like Orisbayev, it was 2-1 against, but he was almost there. Wasn't a lot wrong with it, but enough was wrong. The red lights came on.
First attempt, representing Islamic Republic of Iran, Saman Razi.
Saman Razi now, 218. The target for Iran. Silver in the 2013 Asian Championship, silver in the 2014 Asian Games in Incheon. He was 4th at the Paralympic Games, 4th at the World Championship. 218 for Saman Razi. That looked a belter, and it is, and that's the lead by a long way by Saman Razi. He leads by 20 kilos. He is out in front. Fourth in the last Asian Championships, fourth in the last Paralympics, fourth in the last World Championships. Time to get back on the podium, sir, surely. Absolute cracker.
Thank you. The bar is loaded. 222 kilos. First attempt. Representing the Islamic Republic of Iran.
The Iranian champion for 2018, his first major championship off the back of that. Ali Akbar Garabishi of Iran is gunning for 222. And the massive weights are coming now. Two for Garabishi. Two. And raised. And good. 3 twos, 3 white lights. 3 officials delighted with that. Not as much as he is. That was an absolute belter of a lift. Just a magnificent piece of lifting. And that's still not the heaviest that we're due to see. One more lifter to come in this opening round, and this was absolutely nailed at 222. It's marvellous. By Ali Akbar Garabishi. Came in for the first time in the 2015 Iranian Championship, and no mark for him. Bronze in 2017 it was. Sonnam Pilji, Engbayar of Mongolia, out of Ulaanbaatar. The Asian record holder, 235. Set in winning World Championship silver in Mexico City in December. Paralympic bronze, Asian Championship bronze, Asian Para Games bronze, and he won at the FASA World Cup in Dubai this year. He's an accountant in the army in Mongolia. All armies need accountants. 230 then, the opening attempt. Engbayar into the lead, 230 with a terrific lift. So the Asian record, his Asian record under threat by himself and Garabishi. 235 is surely going to go will be a target at the very least. Superb lift. Henk by our leader in 2:30. Garibshi second, 2:22. Razi third for Iran. Nobody from China is in this. They've won an immense amount of gold medals, but they're not going to win anything here. Oresbayev going again then at 200, having missed that mark in the opening round. This to get on the board then, Oresbayev, his attempt at 200, and this would put him into 4th position. The medalists are not quite yet set. The 3 names, at least, the order to be determined. Davletov's going to have a go at 211, which would put him quite close to bronze. $200 for Oresbayev. It looked better, and it is better. Got the extra white light in his favor that he didn't get in round 1. 200 for Zhigalbek Oresbayev for Kyrgyzstan, based in Bishkek. And that puts him into 4th position above Abbas Naisan. Davletov unsuccessful in the first round, but that was a solid piece of lifting by the Kyrgyzstan competitor. Abbas Naisan missed out in the 197 in the opening round. He got 202 he's trying to get here. Gold in the Western Asian Para Games last year. In Korfaken. This for 2:02 to put himself into 4th place. Yep. All good for Abbas Naisan. Good comprehensive lift as well by Abbas Naisan. Got 197 quite well actually in the first round, and same again here. 2:02.
Thank you. The bar is loaded 211 kilos. Second attempt representing Uzbekistan.
Nuruddin Davletov is back, having missed at 204 in the first round, so 211 is his target here. So 211, he's staying with the original pattern. Well, Davletov, that looked good. It is good for Uzbekistan. Davletov, that is a belter of a lift. And getting it right now. Davletov goes into the 4th spot, and he is only 7 kilos away from Saman Razi's bronze medal position at the moment. 2:11 to Razi's 2:18. And good clean lift, and seen to be clean. Realistically, unlike last time.
Thank you. The bar is loaded. 222 kilos, second attempt, representing Islamic Republic of Iran, Saman Razi.
This is where Razi can pull away again, though. Man who won silver in the inaugural Asian Championships in 2013. This the 3rd Asian Championships, and the 3rd Asian Para Games are on next month in Jakarta. His last 3 major championships, he has finished 4th each time. Before that, silver in the Asian Para Games in Kuala Lumpur, and silver in the Asian Championships in Kuala Lumpur. That's the secret of his success. $222. Well, that looks impressive. And impressive it was. Well, he's pulling away from Davletov again. 222 by Razi, and on body weight in the head-to-head against Garibshi, goes into the silver medal position. Exquisite lift. They've got all 3 lights. There was no worry. Well, yeah, apart from that. But in terms of the mark, there was no worry. So Razi goes into the silver medal position. Garibshi drops to bronze for now. Garibshi aiming for 230 now, and this would see him jump from bronze to gold above Enkbayer in the head-to-head. Currently behind Razi on the head-to-head. Between these 3, Razi will always win if the weights are level. Enkbayer would always lose out. Davletov right now is looking for 219 in the 3rd round. So we have our 3 medalists in Enkbayer, Razi and Garibshi, but in what order? Ali Akbar Garibshi, aiming for 230, the reigning champion of Iran. $230 for Garibshi. Oh, he pushed through that well on the uplift. Did he do it quickly enough and clearly enough? He did! It's a good lift, 230, and he goes into the lead. Fabulous lift by Ali Akbar. Garibshi goes into the gold medal position ahead of Sudnan Bilgyeng Bayer of Mongolia. Superb. And Engbayer comes now. After that excellent lift of 230, he's been knocked down into the silver medal position. So Garibshi currently gold 230, Engbayer currently silver 230, Razi currently bronze 222. This for 235 to equal his own Asian record set in Mexico City at the World Championships. This to go back into the gold medal position. $235. Raised and good. 2 out of 3, back in the lead, back in the gold medal position, and he has equaled his Asian record. The world record's 243. He'll probably need to break his Asian record to be certain of the gold. That was really good. Job done. So, Engbayer equaling his Asian record. Gold medal position for Mongolia, 235 with a round to go. Garibshi in the silver medal position for Iran with 230. Razi in the bronze medal position for Iran, 222. And they are our medalists. The order yet to be determined. Nobody else is going to jump into the top 3. As you can see by those numbers on the big screen, if you caught them quickly enough. 207 for Abbas Naisan is the target now. This to finish 5th. So Abbas Naisan going for 207. And Davletov has decided to go for the bronze. He's currently 4th. So there's a battle between him and Razi for 3rd place. More about that in a moment. 207 then. For Abbas Naisan. And this to lock in 5th place. And he has done it. 2 out of 3 for Abbas Naisan. Great result. And the thing about Naisan as well, remember it is his first major championship at the age of 35. West Asian Games champion last year. That was in one of the main cities of Sharjah in the UAE. Got a good few championships ahead of him. And Oresbayev now is going to go for 208 off the back of this successful lift.
Loaded 280 kilos, 3rd to 10. Representing Kyrgyzstan,
Oresbayev coming then for Kyrgyzstan. This to claim back 5th position. And he's looking for 208. He's still only 25 as well, Oresbayev. Apart from the Junior Lee of Korea, he is the youngest in the field. $208 for Shagalbek Oresbayev of Kyrgyzstan. Got it raised, but it's not clean. It's called as no lift. All 3 officials going against. The referees being Wai Manliang of China, Alzubi Assam of Jordan, and Nursiedia Macha of Malaysia. So we're down to the final 4, and they were all going for medals for here. Just a bit ragged, so he is denied, and Oresbayev finishes in 6th place, and Abbas Nysen in 5th. So, Davletov, having lifted 211 in the second round, is looking for 223 here. Davletov is gunning for bronze. It's a leap of 12 kilos, this, to overtake Saman Razi's 222 for Iran. Davletov aiming for 223 to leap up by a massive amount, by 12 kilos, into the bronze medal position for Uzbekistan. Davletov at 223. Now he got it raised. How straight was that? Not enough. No lift. He misses out. He will finish, Davletov, in 4th place with 211. And that means that Razi gets the bronze. He's not going to challenge any more than that. He's going to go for 223 himself, which Davletov was not able to get.
225 kilos, rack height 16.
He's changed his mind. 225. There's the miss. You'll see now that Razi is looking to go for the gold. He was looking to fend off Davletov, and he did. Davletov didn't lift 223. Razi was just going to go for 223 there to try and take care of Davletov in the head-to-head. So he has the bronze. So now he's going to play a bit, aiming for 235. This to put him into the gold medal position in the head-to-head ahead of Engbayer. Remember, 235, the Asian record. Kitakyushu going for 237, which would be an Asian record. And Enkbaya then going for 238, which would be an Asian record. This to level the Asian record, which has been set twice by Enkbaya. He equaled it today. 222 in the second round. This is a massive, massive leap up to 235 for Saman Razi of Iran. Silver in the last Asian Games. Silver in the previous Asian Championships in 2013. Fourth 3 years ago in the last edition. Razi currently in the bronze medal position. If he gets this, he equals Enkbaya. But on the head-to-head would go in for gold. Razi, a massive 235. He's not quite gonna get there. But he went for it. That was a good, valiant try. And, well, maybe he could have gone for 231 and aimed for the silver, but he decided to go for something spectacular and couldn't get it lifted, but these things are worth going for. 235, Razi doesn't get there, and it is the bronze for him. Razi finishing 222, and it is bronze for the Iranian. Having missed out on medals in the last Asian Championships, the last three major championships, he'll be back on the podium with the bronze, and he's happy with it, as you can see. So Kitakyushu and Enkbaya are the two left, and Kitakyushu going for 238, which would be a new Asian record, leaping up from 230. If Razi had gone for 230, that would have put him into the silver medal position ahead of Kitakyushu on the head-to-head of bodyweight. Iran have the bronze, and perhaps there was a little bit of inter-team etiquette that if he was going to challenge, he didn't want to challenge his teammates silver, he wanted to challenge the Mongolians' golden spot. And that's what Kitakyushu is aiming for here, 238 to aim for gold and a new Asian record. 235 is that mark. 238 is this. Kitakyushu for gold. And it's got up there. Did he do it? Yes! Yes! He's there in the gold medal position, 238, and it's a new Asian record. Fantastic from Ali Akbar Kitakyushu. 238 to go, top of the pile. Just a terrific lift. For 238. So currently Iran gold and bronze, and what delight when it came through for Ali Akbar Kitakyushu. His first major championship. Now Enkbaya for 239 to get his Asian record back and to get the gold medal back. Henk Bayer, bronze in the last Asian Championships. Bronze in the Asian Para Games in Incheon. Silver in the World Championships. Bronze in the Paralympic Games. Henk Bayer for the gold. And he's got it raised. And he didn't waste time. And he is the Asian champion. Henk Bayer, a new Asian record, 239. What a fight for that title. Sodnam Bilgi, Henk Bayer of Mongolia wins it with the very last lift. It's a new Asian record. He is the Asia-Oceania champion. He's only 4 kilos off the world record. But he can aim for it in the Asian Para Games in Jakarta because he's not going for a 4th lift. Henk Bayer has added 4 kilos onto his Asian record, equaled it in round 2, broke it in round 3. Henk Bayer the gold for Mongolia, 239. Karebshi the silver for Iran, 238, which was an Asian record for 2 minutes. And Razi of Iran gets the bronze. That was good. It's the first major championship of his career. So the victory ceremony then for the men's 107 kilo final. And it was just dramatic all the way through. Medals will be presented by Akihiko Mishishima, who is the Kyushu Medical Sports Vocational School president and the president of the local organizing committee of these Asia-Oceania Championships, Azuma Yoshida.
Representing Islamic Republic of Iran,
Saman Razi gets the bronze for Iran, had a tilt at the gold in the end, and to equal the Asian record that Engbayer had held since the World Championships in Mexico City, and he had equaled himself in the second round of this, but couldn't pull it off, Razi, so he gets the bronze, which is an upgrade in the fourth place from the last Asian Championships 3 years ago. He won silver in the inaugural one in 2013 and fourth in the Worlds and the Paralympics. Silver also for Iran for Ali Akbar Garibshi, who leapt into the lead in the final round with a new Asian record of 238 in his first major championship. The Iranian champion for 2018 and now Asia-Oceania silver medalist.
gold medalist, champion, and new Asian record holder, representing Mongolia,
Sudden Engbayer gets the gold for Mongolia. Gets the Asian record back, a lift of 239, having lost it for 2 minutes. First major title of his career. He won gold at the World Cup in Dubai back in February, silver in the World Championships last year, bronze in the Paralympic Games, bronze in the last Asian Championships, bronze in the Asian Games, but gold here. He is the Asia-Oceania champion. So the anthem then of Mongolia. Finished second in the World Championships behind Jose de Jesus Castillo of Mexico. In this weight division, 107 kg in the World Championships in Mexico last year. Engbayer new Asian record, 239. The gold for Mongolia. Garibshi, the silver for Iran, 238. Asian record for a couple of minutes. And Razi of Iran, the bronze, 222. Great competition. So this was the bronze medal lift then for Saman Razi, 222 in the second round. Went for the Asian record to equal it of 235 in the last round, but just missed out. Good attempt. And the bronze for Iran. Ali Akbar Garibshi, final round. This a new Asian record of 238. Put him into the gold medal position. Could he keep it? The only way he'd be prevented is if Sudnam Bayer of Mongolia lifted this, 239, and he did! A new Asian record. He'd equaled his old mark of 235 in the second round. Needed to break it with the last lift of the competition to claim the gold. And Bayer taking the title for Mongolia for the first time, 239, around silver and bronze through Garibchi and Radzi. Great event, and in little under 2 hours' time, the final two women's gold medals to be decided. Up to 86 and over 86. Join us for those then.